Okay, so we are making good progress on basically hiding the original content areas for our theme. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and publish, and then let's back out. We'll close, and we'll go back to our pages. Okay, so we are in our page area, and I'm going to work in text mode, not visual mode, but text mode, where we can write HTML. So I'm going to get rid of, this is my original start point, okay? And basically you can just start writing your own HTML, and then you would use your IDs and classes, and then you'd use your custom CSS area in your theme to target the content areas. So I've already typed this up. So just to save us a little time, I'm creating a section. Now remember, we targeted inside main, we targeted the article and we targeted the header specifically. I should say the H1 area and then the header. And we basically set their height to 0, visibility to hidden, and we set the display to none. Okay, so now those areas have collapsed. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a section, okay? Because I don't want to use an article again because we were already targeting an article. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a section, and we're going to give this section a class name. I'm going to call this new header area. And then inside this section, I'll go ahead and create what will be my new header for my first page. Okay. Matter of fact, this could be the header for any pages which we add. Okay. So this will be targeted with a class new header. And then inside I'll have H1, and then basically I'm just going to say this is my H1 and not your H1 WordPress. Okay, so I'm taking your H1 and I'm placing my H1 inside. So let's go ahead and update, and we will go back to appearance and we will customize, and again. Okay, so there's our H1 showing up, okay, which is cool. Now we need to style this the way we want to style it. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our additional CSS. And what we're going to do now is target our new header area, okay? So remember, we had section, and then we gave that section a class, new header area. So let's go ahead. I've already written this, again, just to save us a little bit of time. So we now have section dot new header area, because remember, this class is directly in the opening section which we just created. I'm going to set my position to relative, the width to 100%, and then we're just going to zero out our margin and our padding. Now you can do whatever you want. I'm just doing this to demonstrate the process. Okay. All right. So next, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and target the header. All right. So now we have section, header, and then the header is a descendant of section, and the class directly in the header element. Okay, so header, new header. We're going to go ahead and set the position to relative, the width to 100, and we'll zero out our padding. Now nothing's really going to change because we haven't targeted the H1 specifically. We're dealing with the space around our header. Okay, so now what we're going to do is copy the code I have, and I'll paste this in, and let's take a look at what we have. So now there is the section we created. This is the header, our new header inside of our section, and then our class, new header, which is directly inside of our header element. And now we are targeting the H1 specifically inside of our header. So we're going to set the position to relative. I'm setting the width to 100 viewport width because somewhere else in the theme, this area was being defined with a pixel, an absolute width. And I want to go ahead and set this to, I'm using 100 viewport width to force the entire viewport because this is a responsive theme, okay? And 100% will not work in the width, okay? So margin and padding will be zeroed out. Text align will be center. Let's go ahead and publish. And we should see that our headline does in fact center. Now, it's a bit of an issue that the font size doesn't change, and at one point what we'll end up having to do is use our media queries to make specific changes to elements in the different breakpoints. All right, let's go ahead and stop this video, and in the next video we'll begin to create additional pages and then add those pages to our menu.